And Shayna's gone. I knew that would happen. Yet again, we've got Gremlins. So for anybody who has been watching for 89 weeks, some weeks we do have a few glitches with internet or issues with software, etc. Tonight, we've had a few issues with broadband, especially across Wales. Let's run through a few comments. Got Callum. Hi, Crow family. We're just going to wait for Shane to come on, just in case anybody's wondering. Grant, Sam's here. Alan Thomas is here. Karen is here. Pam is here. Well done, Pam. Nice to see you. Robert Johnson, Jane Smith. So yeah, for anybody tuning on at the moment, I'm literally just borrowing a bit of time. A few technical errors. And Shane will be with us in about 2-3 minutes, hopefully. We got Louisa, Debbie. Hiya, Donna. There's Donna. Sarah Tate. David Graham. Julie Penn. Sarah. There we are. Everybody's checking in now, which is great. Evening, Donna. Yeah, this has happened a few times. Like I said, it's not my favorite part of the show. But it does happen, guys. It is live. So, you know, that's one of the many problems of being live is you do get issues. So we're just going to kind of get everybody settled in. Shane will be with us in a couple of minutes, and then I'll bring him into the stream. And then we can kind of kick everything off with our guest this week, which will be Lee Small. I'm excited to get into that one. So just a couple of more minutes while we're kind of seeing what's going on in the background. Like I said, I think we've got a few issues with the internet. If there's anybody watching around the Bridgend area, it's been a nightmare all day. I lost my internet for a couple of hours this morning with good old Sky. I know Dave and Lloyd had a few issues, and there's been a few other people as well who were saying that they can't get on like Spotify tonight. So the Gremlins are definitely out, guys. Thank you, Shelley. Shelley saying she loves the show. Absolutely brilliant. I've got no jokes, so let's not go down that lane. And I don't really want to start getting into like what I've been up to or anything like that, because that's half the night gone, isn't it? Evening, Catherine. Did everybody have a good time at Planet Rock's Winter's End? I'm hearing great things about that. A few good bands as well that I'm hearing made waves. Valhalla Awaits, so one of them. Welsh Boys as well. I'm glad that they had a stormer. And we have a Shane back by the look of it. I think everything's great. So that was enough off me.
Hey! What's up, everybody? I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened there, bud. I think we got Gremlins all night tonight.
It's fine. It's fine. It is
You've
what it is.
all, have you?
Yeah, I remember the first one. Do you remember the first one where I was left on my own? That one was proper Wayne's World, where I was like, this one now is just rabble. Say hello to everybody. Keep repeating yourself. Keep telling everyone it's going to be okay. Shane will be here in 5. And on you came, mate. So brilliant.
Fantastic. Well done, brother. Good filling in, as always. What's up, everybody? It's live. It's Tuesday. It's Crowcast, episode 89. Thank you all for joining us. Hey, it's International Women's Day today. What's up, ladies? All you incredible independent ladies in the Crow family. We know who you are. What's happened to you now? This stuff gone up on my screen. Let's ignore that and carry on. Yeah, it's incredible, actually. It's a great to celebrate all those strong independent women. There's loads of mental people in the Crow family, women in general. I don't know where I'm going with that. You know, I'm blabbering on today because literally I can't see nothing on my screen. You're not crazy women. You're absolutely incredible women in the Crow family. I might just add, but sorry about that. I didn't mean anything by that. Let us know you're here tonight. Join us in the comments below. Shina, Dave, and Lloyd will be joining us very shortly. But after our guest, I'm so excited to talk to Mr. Lee Small, newest member of hit-making rock band The Sweet. He'll be joining us in a few minutes. Any questions for him, please put them in the comments below, and we'll put it forward to him. Ronnie, what a mental way to start the show, but I'm sorry.
It's absolutely fine, dude. And like I said, we've had worse. I was quite calm, collective. I'm all right on that. I was just saying to everybody about looked a great weekend at Winter's End. A few bands I'm hearing had an absolute stormer. One being Valhalla Awaits. You're hearing great things about those guys, which is brilliant. Can't wait to catch them soon. And yeah, just noticing a lot of people as well. When I looked at the socials earlier, came back with a few colds. So it was quite an eventful one, like, you know.
That's the thing, man, isn't it? All these big sort of rock festivals is going to happen and take people back a few weeks. I just hope everybody's well with it, you know. Hopefully it's not as bad as it was when it first came about, and you know, you just feel a bit shit, but nothing too mental. So I'm just looking at the comments there in the messages. Yeah, you had it right the first time, Shane. I am mental. There we go. See, they all know.
They know. But yeah, this week's been about all music as well, like a brand new release from Chris Barras.
Yes.
Which I am absolutely loving that record. I've said it on the group. We've been talking about it as well. And great to see that he's currently sitting at number 8 in the midweek's charts. But we know that's not it. You know, still all the streamers, all the big hitters come in at the end of the week. So it's not too late to buy the record. We're literally doing this because, like I said, we think the world of Chris and the boys. They've wrote a great record. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, go stream it, go buy it. It's available on CD, digital, and vinyl, as you can see by there. Like I said, I think it's a perler, to be honest.
Yeah, man. I mean, Chris is an incredible player. His band, I think, have gone up another level on this record. That's probably because of, you know, who they worked with and stuff. But yeah, it just sounds killer, but absolutely incredible. We've always been a big fan of Chris, but I think he's got the right band behind him now. Do you know what I mean? There's a new sound, there's a new vibe. Proper digging it, fair play.
Yeah, Planet Rock. We've seen him in Soundcheck, and then I got to watch a bit of the set as well. And like you said, it was just a different vibe, which was cool. Hard hitting, new, ferocious new tunes as well, which was cool. So that came out in abundance when we were watching them. But yeah, the record, they should be super proud of that. And yet again, the rock scene are delivering. They're currently sitting at number 8. So fingers crossed for Chris and the boys. And I hope they have a great chart in. But anyway, it's a banging album. So that's what they should be really proud of, like, you know.
Absolutely. Congrats, guys, on the chart position. Hopefully you get a bit higher if people buy the record.
Yes, for sure, man. How was your week, dude?
All right, bud. Up and down. just like the show at the minute. It's really difficult to sort of plan anything, isn't it? You know, the minute you put some in the diary, your finger, you know, crossing those fingers, hoping it comes off, and some do, some make it, some don't. So yeah, it is what it is. Well, how's your week been, bud?
Yeah, it's been wicked.
You went to watch Batman, didn't you?
I can feel Toby Jepson gonna make an appearance soon too, because I think the feedback was he loved the film. I will never give a spoiler away, so you got no worries about that. I don't really watch trailers. I was just so disappointed. Just didn't do it for me. I don't think he was a bad Batman, so we'll get that one out there. I just thought it was quite long-winded, or am I just exhausted of all the reboots? Is that it? Like, it's kind of the same story, just with different actors. I'm still kind of putting my finger on it. Would I go and pay for a second viewing? No. Will I watch it when it probably drops on streaming? Yes. Just to see if there's a different vibe to it, or maybe I didn't kind of, you know, sometimes you watch a film and you're just not in that headspace. Maybe it was a bit of that as well. Like, so, yeah, but yeah, just disappointed, dude. And you know, I love my Marvel, my DC, all of that vibe, like. But yeah,
well, I was gonna go and watch it Saturday, and then I heard what you said about it, and I just like, nah. I'll wait till it comes out and just watch it on TV. It's mad. Certain films, you know, deserve the cinema experience, and I thought that'd be one of them. If people were, you know, people I've seen, I know have gone to see it, they're saying the same thing as you, bud. Yeah, that's it, Stu. It starts off incredible, and then kind of, you know, like saying it goes on a bit too long. So I don't know.
It's bang on what he just said then. 45 minutes. I mean, it's nearly 3 hours long. It's 2 hours 57 or whatever. All right, maybe the trailers are in there or whatever, but I just didn't vibe. Like I said, it started off. That's a great way the steward just said it. Started off. I was like, oh, here we go, wicked. And they're gonna nail it these days with the cinematic and all of that. It was like bang. It's very it's got a real gritty vibe to it. So I thought I'm gonna love this. This is gonna be it. And there's certain characters in it I thought they nailed, to be honest with you, dude. And I think maybe it could progress into something good, but to bring you in and draw you in, I was a bit like, oh, I'm tired, like, so I was just kind of like done at the end, and that's really disappointing, man. Do you know what I mean? So, I urge you to watch it when it's out. I'd be interested to see your view on it. And there's something else. Go on.
It was a choice between that and Studio 666. But for some reason, they're not playing that in Bridgend.
No, I know. No, I don't know why.
Why is that then?
I don't know, because I was tempted to do the two.
Yeah.
And make it a movie night, like, you know. But yeah, they didn't show it in Bridgend. And I kind of left the timings a bit awkward then, so I kind of went to watch Batman. And to be honest, after 3 hours of Batman, it was just like I was just so exhausted. But the good news is, so I've just caught on to the Big Bang Theory. Never watched it before. Kind of missed that whole hype years ago. Yet most of the series that we talk about on Crowcast, and we've talked about the Crow family, I'm kind of doing that whole looking back now. Hooked on it. So yeah, it was great. Watched Batman, came on, watched a few episodes of Big Bang, and I was well happy. Like, just an easy 19-20 minute watch, nothing overcomplicated. Characters are fab, but like I said, just I'm so there we go. There's Stuart Charles. I've just got onto that now. Yeah, Bazinga. Yeah, man. Just like I said, can't believe I missed it. Don't know why I avoided it. It's like 12 seasons. It was so hot back in the day, but I've only just watched Dexter, so there you go. You know what I mean? It's sometimes going back to watch something is just as exciting as kind of having it spoilt at the time, if that makes sense. Because these days, if you don't watch them weekly, some fucker will put it up on the socials, the ending or something. So 10 years on, you're bound to forget it then, anyway. Like, so there you go.
Yeah. No, it's a banger, that. Fair play. I've watched a few of them series.
Yeah. But that's enough of us talking about TV, and we'll catch up with the boys afterwards as well. Shall we have a guest?
Let's do it. Crow family, please welcome the fantastic singer and all-round Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Lee Small. What's up, Lee?
How you doing, guys? You okay?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you, brother. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, man.
You're welcome, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem at all.
You'll regret it.
Well, it could be a funny night tonight, bud. It could be a funny night with all the... Go on, bud.
It was just bizarre because I'm like beforehand, you know, just before the show comes on, and you've got the test card. You know, you've got the test card on there, and I'm thinking, you boys surely ain't old enough to remember the test card.
Yeah, bro.
But all the internet connections and whatever, and it was really, really weird, man. I had like a poltergeist experience, and I kind of reached in and pulled out the clown. So
I don't know. No! There it is.
Lee, Ronnie fucking hates clowns.
I had to do that.
Yeah, well done.
Mate. My daughter's like that, man. She hates them. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, honestly.
How are you guys? You been okay?
Yes, brother. We've been good, thank you.
Good.
Yeah, not too bad at all. Obviously, you're in your studio there in Birmingham. Are you living in Birmingham these days?
No, London, mate. London. I've been in London for about 10, 11 years now. Although I'm dressed like, you know, Tommy Shelby stableman or something, like, you know, I'd like to be country tweeds. I'm actually in London. It's freezing down here. I, even though it's been a beautiful day, it's so cold and whatever. But it's the council, man. Like they're just like, you know, I think they're just cutting off all the electric and stuff. It's like I ain't paid me meter. Even you go out,
is it?
You go out the streets now, you know, and all the street lights at night, you know, are on like half a watt. Like, you know, it's like energy saving. You know, you can't drive your car because you'll kill somebody. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's London for you now, you know. But there you go.
Amazing. So, what you left Birmingham 10 years ago for obviously the music career? I take it.
Yeah, I can this way with me partners this way and whatever like. So I came and settled in North London, and I love it up this way. To be honest, I really felt at home. So
yeah.
I'd moved out from the Midlands anyway. I'd moved out to Worcestershire, and that was great as well. A completely different place, but the rural side of it and everything was beautiful. And then I kind of come from there to North London, and like I say, I've been here ever since, and I just I really feel at home here. Nobody can understand me with my accent, but
They can't us, mate, when we visit. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But I've always said it to Shane. I love visiting London.
yeah, it's great.
But I do like coming home because we live a bit more rural and stuff like that. So it's a bit more
Yeah.
quieter. But yeah, I love coming up to stay for the weekend, or I love working up there with the bands and stuff. It's just an
Yeah.
happening place, isn't it? Like
It is. It's great, man. It really is. And it's nice to get back to the Midlands. I don't get back that often now, but when I do, it's changed so much. And all the old venues are gone, and it's criminal. And it's just you kind of like don't recognise the place. But I suppose it's Wales, South Wales is a bit like that. I don't know. So,
oh, mate, it's drastically changed, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
especially in the last 15, 20 years of us playing. You could probably play Bridgend, Jesus Christ, every weekend for about 6-7 weeks.
really, yeah, well,
Yeah, different venues. The score, especially like when you were younger in the cover bands and stuff like that.
yeah,
it's
that's
just
right.
it's all like literally. I think Bridgend's got one music venue, which isn't having much luck at the moment, sadly.
Really?
And then you kind of go out to that. There's people trying to make it happen down in Swansea way, which is great.
Yeah.
Cardiff's still good as well, which is cool. But even Cardiff back in the day, there was so many more venues as well. It's just all condensed. So of course,
That's
Newport
it.
DJs, you know what I mean? So
I used to play there. Yeah, I mean, in the I suppose the mid '90s, I was in kind of one of the very first tribute bands and stuff to the Manic Street Preachers. Ironically, I used to front the Manic Street Preachers tribute thing, and we used to do all the old school stuff, like with the Generation Terrorists and all that and whatever, and
Man, amazing.
that's it. We used to do all that, and we used to play TJs and stuff, like, and then we used to play places like the Rocket Club, is it in Swansea, and places like that. They're still there or gone, or I've gone back years.
Yeah, I didn't know that one in Swansea. I mean, we used to play places like the Singleton Hotel and stuff back when we were like 15, 16, and then up in like Bonamine and Llanelli and down Carmarthenshire. But then we would come down then towards Newport, TJs, etc.
Yeah, that was a great gig, wasn't it? That,
yeah, it was incredible. I mean, but yet again, like I said, in Bridgend, I think there were just three or four places just in one small area that you could play, wasn't it, Shane?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Good scene.
when you were younger, Lee, how old were you when you started sort of playing and stuff and doing those jam nights around Birmingham?
I mean, to be honest, mate, I started out, when I was at school, really, and as soon as I left school, I mean, I was doing the pub scene, when I was 15, all them years ago. I was 15 and we was playing some pubs, in the Midlands area and stuff like that. And we used to travel everywhere, and kind of cut my teeth on all that sort of, pub club scene and stuff. We used to, obviously there was some great places, we used to travel out, obviously, all over the UK. We'd go up to Scotland, we'd go down this way, we'd go to places like Esquire's in Bedford, and there was a few different places like that. And like you say, there was some great gigs out there, but I mean, our local one when we was growing up was the JB's in Dudley. That used to be an amazing gig, and kind of everybody's played there. And I'm old enough to have been able to play both versions of the place, the original place when it was a little unit at the back of Pathfinders, and then it moved obviously to the big one by the side of the zoo, and so but that used to be a great venue as well, and then sadly they're all just going, but there used to be some great venues in the Midlands, as in little rock gigs as such,
Yeah, I'd imagine the scene was incredible back then, dude.
It was in the 80s, and there was so many bands. I mean, you know, there's a, you know, the competitiveness, it was healthy. Do you know what I mean? It was like there was so much rivalry, but it was all healthy, and there was some great talented bands out there, do you know, and it was just in the 80s, you know, I suppose you know, I'm talking like the hair metal time, you know, with the like 87 to 92, 93, you know, that sort of, it was brilliant time, really brilliant time.
Yeah, like, because I mean, I first met you at the Cozy Powell Bash when we got invited with Bob and stuff, and I remember like listening to you on stage, and your voice was just like boom, in that instant, like turn around, like, who is that?
Thanks, man.
But like, has that always been a natural thing, Lee? Did you get it from your parents or family? Is it within the family, or was it just you just got this?
Well, I mean, it's bizarre, mate, because, you know, my parents used to do like the folk clubs in the late 60s, early 70s. You know, my dad used to play acoustic guitar, you know, and my mum used to have a beautiful voice. She just used to be a ringer for Joan Baez. She used to have a voice just like Joan Baez. It was, you know, uncanny, you know. And I used to do it so much. So there was always singing and stuff like this. But my old man used to get me to try and play, and I wasn't interested and whatever. But as for singing, I must have, you know, you must be in there somewhere. We were in the water in the Midlands or something, you know. But I only started to sing really in 1989 because, you know, we lost the. I started out as a bass player, so kind of being with the Sweet now back on the bass, it's kind of gone full circle, you know. But I started out as a bass player. 86, I started to teach myself guitar, and I just, you know, I went playing guitar and whatever. And then I was obviously in bands up to 89. We just couldn't get a singer at all. The singer left, and we used to have all these guys come, and obviously you can imagine all these guys look pretty amazing with all the, you know, with the long hair and the, you know, the crimped hair and you know, straighteners and all this shit, like, and they look fantastic. Do you know what I mean? They looked absolutely fantastic, but they couldn't sing for toffee. And we went through so many gigs, so many singers, you know, and we couldn't get one, you know, and in the end it was like the guys in the band I was with at the time, they were saying to me, look, because the drummer in the band at the time, he wanted to sing, you know, and they turned around and said to me, he says, look, man, he says, you've got to sing. And I went, I don't want to sing. And they went, you've got to sing, because if you don't, I'm not mentioning that. I said the drummer's going to sing, you know what I mean? And so I was kind of forced into it, you know what I mean? So kind of, that was it, you know. So of course I was fronting the band with the guitar and stuff like this. But it was the best move I ever did, because I realised obviously that's where my strength was, you know, and it was just a natural thing, you know. But I can't listen to the early stuff I used to sing now because it's all from the throat. But you're all coaching and learning your trade over the years. So I listened back to some of the early stuff, and I was like, you know, I'm cringing, you know. But it was all good, you know. It's all good.
So what was the first gig where you were proper like frontman singing? How old were you?
I would be, oh man, I'd be like about 23 probably. Right. So I kind of started singing late, really. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Wow. You know, so I'd be about 23, yeah. So when would it be 23, 22 probably, yeah, 22. When I actually started as a front man, yeah, you know. And
I've often heard that with bands, when you talk to bands though. Phil Collins with Genesis, wasn't it? When they were looking for singers, they were just like, oh, no one's sounding as good as you, Phil. You just do it. So like,
and you got the job, yeah. That's it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And what a decision that turned out to be. Do you know what I mean? You know, yeah, incredible voice. You know, nothing against Peter Gabriel, because he was again in his own entity, brilliant. Do you know what I mean? But Phil Collins, you know, you were saying about the voices and tones. He's just got that tone, what just hits you. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. 100%. It surprised me out of bed, because your voice sounds so like natural, organic. It just sounds like you've been singing since you were like this big. Do you know what I mean? So
do you know? I mean, when I was a kid, I did always used to, you know, I used to sing around the house and stuff. And I think I always knew I could sing. Do you know what I mean? I was never confident enough to actually to want to be a front man. I was always shy. You know, I think that's why I kind of, you know, went into a band. I always knew I wanted to be in a band or a musician, but I think that's kind of why I became a bass player to start with, because I'm thinking I can get in there and play and nobody's going to notice me. Do you know what I mean? And stuff, and I could still do it and whatever, like, you know. And it's so I'm, you know, I think I've always been, you know, I can get up on stage and I can really express myself and you know, but when I come off stage, it's just like I'm just kind of me again. I'm kind of like a, you know, there's you know, there's no. Everybody says everybody's got an ego, but there's no sort of ego side of it. Do you know what I mean? I you know, like I say, I only got into singing really because, you know, I had to. Do you know what I mean? But I knew it was the right thing. Do you know, I really did. I knew it was the right thing. But I mean, with my style, I've always, I kind of. I used to fuse everything, to be honest, because I used to listen to all sorts of stuff. I used to listen to so many soul singers. You know, I started out obviously listening to all the melodic rock singers like Steve Perry and stuff like that. I was never really into the cock rock singers and stuff like that. You know, I used to, you know, they'd got to have like Steve Perry. You know, it was to me Sam Cooke. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I kind of was always influenced by all the soulful singers. You know, and like Stevie Wonder was always my idol, and I used to kind of like, you know, I suppose take a bit of that and kind of put it into what I do with the rock thing, you know. And it's never going to be everybody's cup of tea. I mean, Glenn Hughes does it well, you know. I mean, it was another big influence and whatever, you know, as a singer and whatever at the time. And I think it was never like I say, it's you know, it's not for everybody, but to me, it's kind of that's what I do, you know. But you're kind of like that, Shane. I mean, you've got a great soulful voice, you know. I mean, you know, I think, you know, it's you got a great voice on you, mate. You know.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, but I'm the same. But there's a real eclectic sort of mix, whether it be from country or that soul in particular. You know, the names you just mentioned there, Sam Cooke, and that soul. Yeah, absolutely. It just adds something, doesn't it? You know, and I was the same.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why, like, the Cozy Powell thing was like a big step up for me, because there's, like, as you just said, those voices, Whitesnake, and it's like massive. They stay up there, those notes, and I'm really kind of not really like that. I mean, I can do it in parts, but that was a real sort of step out of my comfort zone. And hearing you and Paul Manzini and Carl Sentence, and it's just like
another great singer in here. Yeah, wow, great singers. Yeah. Do you know? But you did, honestly, mate. You held your own, man. You're a fantastic singer. Do you know? And you know, I love what you do. You know, and I'm not just saying that. Do you know what I mean? You got you know, a great you know, great personality when you sing as well. You know, it's like, you know,
thank you, bro.
Good stuff, so much, man. Good stuff.
Thank you, brother. That's great.
How did you feel, Lee? Like when you said you went from bass to singing, was it like your first band where you didn't have the bass, or were you singing with the bass? And how did you feel when that was stripped away? Because that's a big thing as well. If you obviously didn't start off as a vocalist, when you know, I'm looking at photos of you now and you got nothing, there's nothing to hide behind, as they say. Like, do you know what I mean?
You know, it was weird to start with. I mean, you know, I never, obviously I started out just playing the bass, you know, and then I kind of from '86, I kind of took a year out really, you know. I sold everything, you know, and just, you know, basically bought myself a guitar and started to just self teach myself guitar and whatever. So of course, when I actually did front a band to start with, I was playing with the guitar, but you know, when we decided to a few years in, like the band, we used to obviously, you know, kind of the core of the members used to stay together, you know, in the late '80s and whatever. We changed the name a couple of times, and then we brought a couple of new people in, and we brought a second guitar player in, and that's when I decided to be like the front man. And it was, you know, it was weird to start with, because you don't know what to do with your hands. Do you know what I mean? And even to this day, I still hate. I'm never comfortable with a radio mic really, because I need to just something with that. I always like the old school mics, you know what I mean? Because at least you can hold the lead, you know what I mean, and stuff. Yeah, it is weird, but it just obviously over the years, you know, I mean, it becomes a natural thing where I don't even think about it anymore. But it was weird to start with, yeah, for sure.
I can relate there, bro. I had when we were kids, I'd always play guitar as well and sing. I was never.
Did you really? Yeah.
Yeah. But and then same as you, I had the lead on the microphone, and it wasn't until someone told me after the show, I was like, "Oh, what do you think of the gig?" "Oh, yeah, good gig." but I was still strumming with the lead in my hand. Do you know what I mean? I was still like it's imaginary guitar, and I didn't realize I was doing it. It was just habit. But now it's like I'm playing a bit of guitar again now, and who knows what the next sort of album and stuff. I've played a bit more guitar, so there may be more of that coming. And now I find like it's the reverse. Now I'm like, fuck, I gotta relearn that because I've done it so long without the guitar.
Without the guitar.
Yeah, and that's where I naturally go vocally. I've really got to like, I'm taking like 10% off the vocal because I'm concentrating on guitar. So it's again relearning those skills. And
absolutely, and you tend to like, obviously when you're playing guitar and singing as well, you know, as you know, you can't. It's so easy to come off the mic and your voice, and you as though you can hear, but all the punters and whatever, like, you know, are missing off the vocal because it's going to dramatically change the dynamics and stuff. Plus when you're singing as well, you get into a natural posture, when you sing to hit the higher notes or whatever, and when you've got a guitar on your neck, it's again totally different to deliver.
Exactly. We went to rehearsals last week and we did a couple of numbers where I was playing guitar, and my neck that night where I'm
the weight.
And not just the weight, but where my head is like towards the microphone, whereas normally the microphone is here, and my posture's all right. Now I'm doing this, and it was just like, what is that? And it's just a couple of numbers on guitar, like it's just amazing,
isn't it? But I bet it was good. I bet you kind of enjoyed it.
I did, yeah. It's just I need to work on it. It's just So it's another string to the bow, innit, as they say. So
absolutely.
Yeah, man.
I don't play now near enough really anymore. To be honest, things I used to be able to do, I can't do anymore. It's weird. You kind of if you don't use it, you definitely lose it. You know what I mean? As they say, it's true. But
But like talking about the bands you've been in, then, bud. I mean, because there's a few bands here. So Lionheart, Phenomena, Shy. You've been in a band with our manager. What was that like? Oh,
ex-manager. That was me and Roy, mate. We go back years, There he is. Oh wow, that's it. I remember that. That was that photo shoot. I remember doing that. That was for Classic Rock. We went to London, and that's when we came back with the album, really, and. But I you know what? I loved it. I love my time. Shy. I mean, it's always. I owe that record everything, to be honest, because I really do. Because most of my work, what I've got since that was released, is 90% of it has been down to what I did on that record. So I owe it greatly. I really do. But it was it was just a brilliant time. But I mean, how that came about. How that came about really was I was doing some work with another Welsh connection. I was doing some stuff with Budgie, and I was John Thomas, the old. Bless him, he's not with us anymore and whatever. But when he left Budgie, he put his own version of the band out and whatever, and I kind of went out singing for that for a while, and we used to rehearse at Roy's place, in the Madhouse. When not long after the first album, and we used to have a rehearsal room literally right by the desk, by the reception desk and whatever, and so of course we'd be in and out and whatever, and I'd get to meet Roy, and I'd get to meet Jackie and everybody and whatever, and so of course I kind of knew him from there, and then when I heard Tony Mills had left Shy, because he was going to join TNT. Somebody told me about it and whatever, and I thought, well, you know what, I was always a big Shy fan anyway. I used to, in the 80s, I used to go and see him, between Exeter areas and Misspent Youth. I used to actually go and see him live a few times, and it's one of those bands, that was an incredible, live act, there really was, they should have been massive, to be honest. And I mean, I used to stand there at the very old JBs, and I remember standing there in front of, in the middle of the room and whatever, and I was watching, Steve on the guitar and Tony Mills, and again, we're talking about projection. It was just flawless at the time. They'd just come back from LA, I think, at the time. They'd been out there, and when they come back and whatever, and you could see the confidence what the band had got, you know, and it was just, you know, it was a wow factor to actually watch them, you know, and I used to think, God, I'd love to be in a band like this, you know, I'd love to be in this band, you know. So I mean, you know, I finally kind of got in there, you know, years later. So it's better late than never, you know.
Was that daunting as well? I bet
it was what? Sorry.
Was that daunting? You know, filling those shoes and stepping
It was really daunting because me and Tony's got completely different voices, you know, and so I mean, obviously when he'd left, obviously I dropped him a line on. It was the forerunner to Facebook, which was something called MySpace. Do you remember that? You know, that's it, MySpace, and so I kind of left him a message, and then I think it was about I heard nothing. About a week later, and whatever, Joe, the keyboard player, had come back, and he went, he'd come back to me and whatever. He says, yeah, he says, hi, he says, Roy remembers you. He says, will you come down and have an audition and that, you know? So they sent me the songs, you know, and because I always knew how good Tony was, and it's only when you get the songs and you've got to start learning the songs and trying to do them, you know, and you realise just what a great singer he was, you know. He was incredible, you know, and the range he'd got, and you know, and I tell you, some of the songs I struggled with myself, you know, and I had to make them my own. I had to. The only way I could do it was do them in my own style and without taking too much away from the songs, you know. So cut long story short, I went for the audition with them, pulled up outside the madhouse and whatever, like, you know, and I was so nervous. I don't think even the lads know this, but I was so nervous. I parked the car up and whatever, and there was a little pub round the corner, so I went round the corner and knocked myself a brandy back, like, you know, before I could before I went in and walked in really cocksure then. but I was really nervous, you know, and obviously there was all there but it was great. That made me really feel comfortable straight away, and I did the audition, and I got it, you know, and it was just like I couldn't believe it, really, you know. I still think they must have been mad to have me, mate, but now it was great, man, and that was it, really, you know. And then we did the album.
Yeah, go on.
We did the album. That we started to work on the album, and then it just kind of nothing was happening and stuff like this, and I kind of, you know, basically went and I had to get some work as, you know, in a regular gigging band, you know what I mean, and whatever, like, you know, and because obviously I've got to pay my mortgage and things like this and whatever. So I kind of took the wheels off the bus really a little bit there and whatever. And then anyway, Tony came back. It didn't work out with Tony. He come back and he did a little bit and whatever, and then so he kind of, and then about 2 or 3 years later, just before Steve got ill, basically they wanted to get the record back out, because it was everything I'd done was recorded anyway, and luckily I got reinstated on the record, and, you know, thank goodness for that, like, and it just and the rest is kind of, you know, we got it out, and like I say, I owe it so much. That really, it was just a great record, and it was Steve's labour of love, that album was, you know. I mean, I think he's you know, he's I don't think a guy's ever wrote a bad song anyway. He's a phenomenal guitar player, and even better human being he was, like, you know. And but it was, that stuff on that album was just, you know, incredible, mate. You know, it really was. It was his, you know, to me, his finest hour, you know. It was just such a shame that what had happened, really, so we couldn't gig it and stuff, you know. It was incredibly sad, like, you know.
Yeah, I bet. But like, what a perfect springboard for you, you know, in your career, because, you know, you've done a lot, but haven't you? Like session work, and I've seen, like, you talk about Glenn Hughes there, like, you know Glenn, right? Yeah,
I mean, you know, again, I mean, that was that came really from a chance meeting in the late 90s with Tom Galley, who did the Phenomena project, you know, and obviously Tom was Mel Galley's brother, who was in Trapeze with Glenn. They went back, obviously, and before Mel was in Whitesnake, and then obviously they in the mid 80s they did these 3 albums called Phenomena, and they used to get, obviously Glenn sang quite a lot of the stuff on there, and they had and Mel played the guitars, but they also had other great musicians on these things. You know, they'd have like people like, you know, Keith Morrell from Mama's Boys, another great singer who was with Air Race, and you know, and you know, different people like that, and Neil Murray on the bass, Cozy Powell on the drums. It was just a who's who on these albums, you know, it really was. Yeah. So after the chance meeting I had with Tom back in the late 90s, him and Mel wanted to resurrect Trapeze, and they was looking for like a Trapeze 2000 sort of thing, you know, bringing it up to the millennium and whatever. So I went in and I did some demos and things like that, and nothing really happened, and eventually those demos got I suppose transformed into what would have been the next the Comeback Phenomena album, you know, so which was called Psycho Fantasy, what we did in 2006, and that's where I got to meet Glenn, because Glenn obviously sang some of the songs I wrote on there and whatever, which was just incredible to think he's actually sung a couple of songs I've co-wrote with Tom. It was like, wow, you know, and to actually be in the studio with him. I mean, we went to London to Eden Studios, and it was just you know, just that it was an amazing time. You know, Glenn flew over from LA for the session, and he was obviously recording the 3 songs and whatever, and I actually, like, you know, got to go in a booth, and the two of us was in a booth together doing BVs, like, do you know what I mean, and whatever, like, you know, and it was one of them pinch yourself moments for me at the time, do you know what I mean? It really was. It was like, I'm thinking, is this really happening, you know? And it's funny because me being influenced by him for all my earlier years, I really knew what he could do, do you know? And he was saying, you know, he was kind of looking to me when he was recording his vocals, and he was going, "Is that okay? Is that okay?" And I kind of had the audacity to turn around and go, "No, man, you could do it. You know, do it again, do it again." I knew, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, did I really say that to Glenn Hughes? You know, but it's because I really knew what he could do. Do you know what I mean? And then he'd do the delivery, and he'd do it, and I go, that was it. Do you know what I mean? That's why I wanted him to do more. But I'm thinking to myself, God, I bet he was thinking, who's this bloody kid? You know, telling me to do it again.
Really, that's some balls. That is, fair play to you.
No, you know, but you know, it was out of love for him, you know, because I knew what he could do. Do you know what I mean? And he was, but no, he was great, mate. It was just, again, just one of those amazing, you know, amazing things, really. But
in the rock world, would you say Glenn is, you know, where is he in top 3? What are you as
a singer? I mean, he's, you know, to me, I would say he's got to be up there, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? Right. I mean, you know, my for years he was kind of like, you know, him and Stevie Wonder was my favorite singers, you know. But you know, I really, of my later life, I've really got back into like the Doobie Brothers, you know, and Tommy Johnston, like, you know, the soul, that guy and his tone and whatever. I would say he's probably my main man, you know. He's probably the favorite singer of all time, you know. But he's but yeah, Glenn absolutely, you know, he's got to be right up there, isn't he? You know, absolutely.
Just, like, it just doesn't seem to like falter, you know, even with age. And you know, you are certainly in the rock scene, when you get a certain age, you know, that the voice isn't hitting those notes. But Glenn is just like doing it for fun. Do you know what I mean? It's just,
do you know, I mean, I used to talk, you know, when he was obviously after, I mean, I don't really see him now. I lost touch with him, really. But, you know, obviously he's in LA and whatever. And I didn't really know him that well. It was just a case of, you know, I got to see him if he come over here, because you know, I'd go and see him and whatever at a show and whatever. And his old manager, Carl, he used to, you know, he'd say, you know, really, I remember us having a conversation, and I remember him saying to me, the reason, like, Glenn's voice is so good still now, because he hardly gigged really in the 80s, where Coverdale, that was his prime time, and he gigged everywhere. Do you know what I mean? He relentlessly with Whitesnake, he was gigging, you know, tour after tour after tour after tour, you know. And then obviously he started doing all that, you know, the 1987 stuff, which was commercially brilliant for him, but all that screaming and stuff, just he wasn't about that, you know. Coverdale was an amazing, you know, blues rock singer, like in the Paul Rodgers, as you know, Paul Rodgers sort of vein and that, you know. And I think that's what took obviously David Coverdale's voice, but with Glenn, he didn't do that many gigs at all through the 80s, and I think that's why he's so fresh today, you know.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, I mean, you're talking a 10-year period there. Do you know what I mean? And it's, you know, okay, he's done a lot of gigs since, but he kind of looks after his voice and he's cleaned his act up. You know, I mean, you know, it's no secret, is it? The kind of shit they used to get up to. It's amazing he can sing at all. Do you know what I mean? And to still have a voice like that, you know, incredible, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
go on, Ron.
No, I was just going to say our old sound guy was saying
Yeah.
he worked with Glenn, and I think he just switched to in-ears, and he wasn't happy with how it was all going and stuff. But our old sound guy was saying he was still fucking incredible. He was saying, "Nah, man, it's all right," and it was still like flawless. Like, do you know what I mean? So.
I mean, the guy is incredibly disciplined as well. Do you know? I mean, he will not speak to anybody before a show and things like that. I mean, he's, you know, and he just, you know, he warms his voice up properly and stuff like that. Do you know? I mean, that was bizarre. The old JB, it's the first time I ever met him. You know, that's quite a funny one, because it was, if anybody had walked in on us, like, it was really weird, because he was. I asked him. I said, how on earth do you warm your voice up? You know, I says, obviously, I wanted to kind of pinch as many tricks off him as I could, you know, and he was telling me how to warm his voice up, you know. And at one point, he says, I'd got my hand on his throat, right, like this, like around his, you know, and he was there, and he was standing there, and he was going, showing me how to warm his voice or whatever. And I thought if anybody had walked in, he would have looked really weird. What's this guy's up to? Do you know what I mean? That's But he does. He's so, you know, he's got his ways of warming up, and he's really disciplined as a singer, you know. And you know, you have to be, don't you? Because it's your tool, isn't it? You know, it's your instrument, I should say. You know,
It's certainly worked for him. So yeah, I need to find out those tips. But if you can come round and grab my throat, that'd be great.
yeah. It was just bizarre, because he was showing me how you know, how he warms up, you know, and it was like, but obviously you could feel the movement in your Adam's apple as you're doing it and stuff like this, you know, so I mean, I've kind of done that ever since, really, you know. So it's like, you know, I don't think it's been quite as successful to me as it has been to him, like, but I do it, do you know what I mean? And, you know, but I'm aware as I've got older, personally, like, as I've got older, I'm having so many more issues with my voice now. Do you know? It's like, just you know, I can't get the mileage out of it like I used to. Do you know? Things like that. Right. I can still eat the notes and I can still do all that, but I'm just, you know, picking up all these little niggles and things, you know, and it's like, it's definitely down to the age now. It's starting to catch up with me a bit, you know. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I've started to find, you know, I have to work a bit harder these days, you know. And I'd be all right if I was like, you know, sang like Neil Diamond, like, you know, if we could all sing down there, you know, we'd be all right. We could sing for hours, couldn't we? Then, you know, but it's just, yeah. I mean, it is strange how, you know, and I kind of pick up, you know, like the tours lately, the last Sweet tour we did, you know, the last couple, I've had a few issues towards the tail end of the tours and stuff, and I've not kind of been able to get through comfortable and things like that. Yeah, so you know, age is catching me a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a bit about Sweet Bud, because I mean, amazing that you're part of that. What was that like, getting that call and being slung in there with the, you know, those hits, dude? My God.
Incredible, mate. I mean, incredible. I mean, as a kid, you know, I used to love. I mean, I've always had you know, affinity with the 70s and all that sort of, you know, the Bowlands and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, and the Sweet and all that, you know. And I used to in the mid 80s. When I was out of work, there used to be a show. They used to rerun all the old German music Lagen shows, which was, you know, the old beat club stuff and whatever. And it was always on about 2:00 or something in the morning, you know. And so of course I used to love watching all these. And I remember taping all the Sweet stuff, because the Sweet was on it regular and all this and whatever. And you know, so especially, and obviously one of the songs, you know, one of the iconic songs we do is like Teenage Rampage, you know, and I used to love that as a kid, you know.
Yeah.
So of course you get to play these songs now, and I'm back there, you know, and it's like as soon as we hit the, you know, that bottom me and whatever, like, you know, and he starts playing it's like I'm a kid again. Do you know what I mean? It's just incredible, mate. It was just, I never thought I'd get that call, you know.
Well, I like looking into them today now because we knew we were going to have a chat with him and stuff. But they sold 35 million records,
Incredible.
13 top 20 hits just in the 70s alone. In 73, Blockbuster was number 1, Ballroom Blitz was number 2, Hellraiser was number 2, Teenage Rampage, as you said, number 2, top 10 hits in the USA. It's unbelievable.
Incredible, isn't it?
Hit
Incredible.
machine.
That's
So, like,
it, you know.
those like and what do you know? We were talking about this. We did a Planet Rock thing with John Norman. We were talking to John Norman about putting on bands and stuff, and how he put you guys a headlining down in
Winter's End.
Winter's End, that was right. Yeah.
And
a couple of years ago.
raised
Yeah.
the two eyebrows of people, but then like everybody just lost their shit when you were on stage. Like we were watching it, and John was saying about what an incredible show it was, and everybody just left there just buzzing.
It's lovely. I mean, you know, the thing is with the Sweet, you know, it's 100% live. Do you know what I mean? It really is. There's nothing, you know, that really, you know, you'll have obviously the keyboard click at the beginning where we all come onto action and whatever. It's tracked, and then the band comes in and whatever. But when the band kicks in, everything is 100% live. Do you know what I mean? And all the obviously all the vocals and stuff. I mean, that is what I love about it. To be honest, you know, I love my role in the Suite because I don't. As we was talking about being the front man, I love not being a front man in the Suite. To be honest, I love being able to kind of. A bit like what Glenn Hughes did in Purple, do you know what I mean? I like to be able to like come in and do bits and pieces and whatever and get back, and I'm not the focal of it, and I can enjoy everything else. And what I've always loved being in is being around is harmony voices, and to be able to be a part of those blocks with such incredible singers as like Paul Manzi. I mean, he's amazing in his own right, and bless him. You know, Andy Scott, 72 years old, right? And he just, all those high vocals, which he's always done, he hits them as clear as he did in 1972 as he does today. Do you know what I mean? He never, ever falters, you know, and it's to sit with those voices is just, it's incredible, you know, it really is. I love, and when we play, there's a certain point every show where it just goes, you know. You just, you know, there'll be a few of the album tracks in or whatever, you know, and then, you know, about 40 minutes into the set or 35 minutes into the set, you know, once that you get to a certain point, it's just, everybody's just gone. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it really is incredible.
Yeah, well, that was what Shane was saying. I remember being at home and literally the Suite, everyone was talking about him on all the socials because...
Really? Wow.
Yeah, like Shane said, it was only because, like, few eyebrows, you know. And then when they were at Winter's End, it turned out to be everyone was like, oh my God, I know this song. Oh my God, I know this song. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then that just kind of blew up, like, you know, where I know everybody's looking forward to the tour. And we've been around the scene, as Shane said, and speaking to people in Planet Rockstock, and they were like, can't wait to watch them again. So it's brill to hear that, like, you know, so.
Absolutely. You'll have to come along, man, for sure. Do you know what I mean? And whatever. Do you know, I mean, because I think the date was released. Was it last week? I think there was the release, that's it, the Winter UK tour dates and whatever. And we got some different shows on there this time. I think they've mixed it around a little bit, you know. We're back in Wolverhampton, which is going to be nice. We're doing where we did Birmingham Town Hall on the last tour. We're going to be doing this KK Steel Mill, which is apparently obviously KK Denning's place, but apparently it's an incredible venue, you know.
Oh, mate, it's a cracker. You'll love it.
Yeah,
it's it, really. Yeah. Wow.
It's a beautiful venue.
Really, wow.
Yeah, we've done it a couple of times, and
amazing
crowd. Yeah, it's class, but it must be so good. I mean, you know, because whenever you think about those hits, as you said, but it's reminiscent, it takes you back to a time and stuff, and on record they sound incredible. But when you do it live, I guess everybody's waiting to see if you can do it. But I remember seeing videos of you, and the crowd just literally dancing the night away. Like, do you know what I mean? And he was,
This is it.
he was.
I mean,
brilliant.
honestly, the guys, the hardcore Sweet fans and that turn up year after year. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, and it's like it really is. They're so, you know, loyal. But I think people forget how many hits. This is it. How many hits they actually did have? You know, like you were saying. You know, it's like, I know this one, I know this one. People forget how many songs. You know, I mean, you know, like the likes of, you know, Action, for instance. You know, it's been covered by everybody. You know, Def Leppard covered it. Steve Stevens, the Atomic Playboys, they covered it. You know, they did a version of it, and you know, and it's just, you know, it really is. You know, there's a new. We actually got a new single coming out soon, and then we got we'd actually planned to go in the studio and do the first actually like new album with original songs on, you know, in so many years. That's on the cards for this year. You know, it should have been last year, but and it's no secret Andy's having issues with his hand at the moment. On the last tour, he's got a trapped nerve in the back of his neck, and it's affecting his hand, and he can't like bend one of his fingers and stuff like this, you know. And I mean, nobody would really. I mean, he played on the tour to think he was struggling with this hand issue, you know, and he was just, you know, he was just brilliant, really, you know, just got on with it and that, you know. But he's got to have this hand, so, you know, whatever, like. So it's we were supposed to be back in Europe this month in March, and so we had to put all those dates off for this month and next month. But hopefully we should be back on the road in Europe if things go to plan, you know, with because, you know, we don't know what's going on with this COVID thing again and whatever. As you guys know, it's been an absolute nightmare with the shows, but we're hoping to be back by May, really.
Well, the truth is, Lee, we've been waiting to go to Europe for 2 years.
That's the thing, you know. I mean, you know, you'll be the same as this. What looked like a great 2 years of dates in the diary and whatever, and you just, all you do, I mean, my phone's pinging. The last 2 years, my phone was pinging all the diary, and you're thinking, God, this is going to be going on. It was dates coming out. Do you know what I mean? It was like the other way, you know, everything's, you know, coming out, whatever. I mean, we had 3 shows, 3 festivals. What's been rescheduled now for 3 years now. This will be the 3rd year with Deep Purple, you know. And it's like the stuff you dream of is when you're a kid, you know, to do these shows, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, by the time, you know, we get around to playing these gigs, Deep Purple's going to like pack it in, do you know what I mean? And that'll be the way it's going, like my luck, you know. And but it's like, but they were scheduled in for the summer with the festival things. But what I'm saying is, it's been 3 years down the line, you know what I mean? It's just, as you know, it's been. Everybody's been in the same boat. It's just been crazy time, isn't it?
It's bonkers. I mean, our album dropped in 2020, and we had plans to go to Europe after the tour that we had, and that got pushed back. Then that got cancelled. Then we had another European tour which got announced, and then that's got pushed back. Then that's gone. And then there was plans to go back over again, which we were looking forward to starting to announce. And then yet again, like you said, everything's just so still and certain because nobody's kind of moving in that cycle.
This is it,
you know.
I mean, it turns around. This is why everybody wants to play in the UK and here at the moment, because, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's the only safe bet, really, isn't it? Which brings me to mind. I've got to say to you guys, you're doing Download on the main stage with Maiden. That's going to be incredible, isn't it?
That's a tick.
That is just, you know what I mean. When I set out as a kid, what was talking when I was 15, right? My kind of dream back then was like, I got to do. It was called the Monsters of Rock Festival, and you know, I got to do the Monsters of Rock. That's my dream, to play there and whatever. Never ever done that one, mate. And you guys are gonna live that one. You know what I mean? You're doing it. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna, on the main stage. It's gonna be incredible. That is.
Mate, we were the same when we were kids, and I look back at some of those posters now, and I'm like, oh my God, the bill for some of them are just like, it's dream lineups, like, do you know what I mean? It's like Motorhead are kind of opening some of them, and you're like, what? Do you know what I mean? Motorhead are opening.
You know, that was I don't know if you can see. That was the first bill I ever went to as a kid. You know, AC/DC, Van Halen, You know,
Yes, look at that. Y&T.
Motley Crue out, Y&T, that was it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Y&T from a cup of tea, do you know what I mean? But it's like, but that, you know, 1984, and that's what you're talking about. That's the sort of people who's been on that stage, do you know what I mean? Before you, it's going to be, do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, man, you're right, dude. The history of it all is just incredible, and to be a part of it is amazing. And yeah, main stage.
There's something about that actual place, isn't there? There's something what's magical, isn't there? Do you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited about it, but we have been excited about it for 2 years because like keep COVID and stuff. So it's like we know it's there, but it's just out of reach at the moment. And you don't want to wish your life away, but I just wish it would come tomorrow so we could do it.
Yeah.
Because like you just said, Lee, like what if something happens and then it doesn't? And that's the world we're living in right now. It's fucking awful.
It is.
One of the posters changed as well, didn't it, Shane? Because we were originally under Maiden, like on that day, and we were on the main stage with Maiden. Then obviously everything at the Fan. Then because of Maiden's cycle, they couldn't do the next year. Yeah. So we were like, well, still we're playing the main stage. We're still playing Donington. This is incredible.
That's it. Yeah.
But then when it came back around again, because that one didn't happen. And we were back as it kind of lined up originally, back on the same day as Maiden. And I look at that poster now, you got Kiss on the Friday night, Maiden headline. And I know a lot of people say, oh, same names. But for me, I'm like, fuck, this is the bucket list. Like, you know, this is
man, that's right. You know, absolutely. You know, it's, you know, this is, I've got to tell you this. Because when I used to do, obviously, work with Mel Galley, who was obviously, you know, when he used to play with Whitesnake and stuff like that, when I used to work with him, obviously, when we was doing the Phenomena stuff, he told me a tale, right, that in 1982, right, he was at Download. Obviously, he was out to work. He wasn't gigging or nothing. He was out of work, and he was at Donington Monsters of Rock, right, in 1982. And he was building the toilets at Monsters of Rock. He's building the toilets. You know, the year later, he was headlining the festival with Whitesnake, and that's true. That is true. Do you know what I mean? That's just, you know, it's incredible, isn't it? You know, with the Whitesnake Commandos in 1983. Do you know what I mean? He was headlining it and whatever. But the year before, he was actually building the toilets there. That's like unbelievable, isn't it?
Fucking hell. That's unreal.
That's a killer story. That's a killer story.
Class, bro.
Dreams happen, don't they? Do you know?
We do, but if you keep going and you love it, I'm a firm believer of that, bro. It's all about the passion. If you keep going, something will happen.
That's it.
But so that incredible bit that you're loving life with Sweet and stuff, but you're a busy guy because today a new video dropped. Tell us more about this, bro.
Yeah, we're doing. You know, we've basically got a little band going, a brand new little band and whatever, like, and it's called ATAC, which is Keith ATAC, the guitarist, the one who looks a bit like George Peppard from the A-Team. Can you see him there in his leather, looking really good, isn't he? And
I love it when a plan comes together. Yeah.
And he's a phenomenal player, mate. He's worked with everybody. He's worked with Bonnie Tyler. He was Bonnie Tyler's guitar player. He's with John Parr. He's really is an incredible guitarist. And so it's his band, really. You know, we're working the album for him and whatever. You can see on the left there, we've got Chris Childs on the bass from great bass man from Thunder, and on the right, my old mate, you know, on the far right, my old mate Bobby Richards from when I used to work with Shy. And you guys are going to know him from Man, and you're in Buck and Evans and stuff. Lovely guy and fantastic drummer, you know. And it's a really good. You know, we started to jam the songs and stuff, and he's come out really, really good. You know, so today, the first single comes out today, which is called My New Addiction, and the video dropped 6:00 tonight. The video dropped as well. So, you know, there's the cover. Yeah. So the cover done by a fantastic artist called Tristan Greatrex. He's done a lot of the line art covers. He used to do a lot of the work, the album sleeves for UFO. He's a brilliant artist, lovely guy as well. And So the team itself, again, is really, really great, you know. So it's all nice and fresh, really. But we're more trying to work around our schedules because everybody's busy doing other stuff and whatever, and trying to get as many shows in and things as we can, you know. But we're actually doing our first gig at the 1st of May it's the Night Train in Bradford. Do you know that place?
Oh, yeah, we've done that. Yeah.
Have you done that one? Yeah, we're doing that, and it's called Bradstock, and we're on the bill with Inglorious and a couple of others and whatever. So that's going to be the first show on 1st of May. So you know, so that'll be really good. And then I think there's a couple more in and whatever like that. I mean, it's just again like just working around our everybody's schedules and whatever, like, you know. But we got an album coming out. That singles off the album. The album's going to be called 9 Lives, and there's some really good songs on there, you know. And I think we're really surprised how we've all clicked, and it's got a lot of energy, you know, for a lot of old guys, like, you know.
Well, I love the video, bud. I saw it today.
Thank you.
And stick around, everybody, because we're going to be playing that very shortly.
Oh,
but
thanks, man.
No, it looked like a proper boys band. Do you know what I mean? Like you could tell like the studio antics and stuff, and it was just a really good vibe. The tune sounds banging. Your voice is sweet, and no pun intended.
No, thanks, man. Thank you.
No, it's really class, bud. But obviously Bob Richards. We've had Bob on. We love Bob. Great
He's
drummer.
brilliant, man. Incredible drummer.
So good. And that kit, he's still using that kit, Cozy's kit.
Do you know what? I never. This is it. You know, I go, which one are you going to bring in? He goes, it's got to be in it. That you know, it's great. Got to be in it. Do you know what I mean? It's the business, isn't it? That. But
amazing, bud. But when he,
I don't know. He's got so many kits, though, and I don't know. You know, I don't know where he puts them all.
In the toms, but no, he texted me today because he knew you were coming on, and
oh great, yeah,
he texted me, said he got some inside information on you. I was like, oh yeah, what we got? But he was just saying that you're a massive Hammer horror, classic horror movie fan.
I am, mate.
And
you know,
he was saying that he says, what's he say? Between us, we've met Peter Cushing, and he's met Christopher Lee.
Let's see.
He says you're mad about it.
Yeah, it's funny because that goes back to when we was in Shaw, you know, because you know, literally we'd go to Steve Harris's house, you know, and he was another one who was like massive classic horror, and he used to have like an incredible DVD collection, you know, of all the rare movies and stuff like this, and so of course we'd go out to work, and all we do is talk all night about bloody films and that, you know. We'd hardly get any work done, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Bob met Christopher Lee, you know, and you know, a few years before he died, I met Peter Cushing. So between us, like we kind of you know, met the two masters of horror, like, you know. But again, he's got a massive.
How did you meet him though? How did that come about?
You know, this makes me sound like a stalker, mate. This does now, but when I was younger, you know, he was like, I really wanted to meet Peter Cushing. You know, he was like, you know, I love the guy, and I knew he was living in Whitstable, right? So I kind of went to Whitstable, and I got this like little, you know, you got to think back then, you know, I'm talking like 1991 or something, you know, and obviously he was 91, yeah, and there was obviously 10, 11 years before the internet and all this, you know, you couldn't get, you know, any information on him. Right? All I knew, he lived in Whitstable, right? So of course I go to Whitstable, and I'm there, you know, with my long hair and stuff at the time. You know, I had all my long hair in a ponytail and whatever, and I'm asking people, do you know where Peter Cushing? Of course, everybody thought I was going to mug him or something. Do you know what I mean? Do you know, so nobody'd want to give me his stuff. I'm not telling you where he lives and whatever. Anyway, I've seen this one guy. He went, I'll tell you where he lives and whatever. So I went to his house, and I actually found his house where he lived at. Do you know what I mean? And I couldn't believe it. Knocked on his door. He wasn't in, was he? He wasn't in. I knocked on his bloody door. He wasn't in. I walked off, and you know, I was absolutely gutted. You know what I mean? And and I thought, oh, that's it then. You know, what I'm meant to be. Walked off and whatever. Walking down Whitstable High Street, and the guy in front of me was walking and whatever was Peter Cushing. couldn't believe it. He was walking in front of me, and I kind of met him, and I was like, well, really, like, pleased to meet you, sir, and all this and whatever. And the first thing he said to me was, what he said to me, he turned around and he leant into me like this, and he went, "Do I detect Birmingham?" That's what he said to me, And but no, he was lovely, man. He grew a beard and whatever, and he says he was growing this beard for a part, and he was just lovely, man. A really, really lovely guy, and I just wanted to meet him. I didn't hold him up, and I didn't, I wasn't going to be like a super fan with him and whatever, like, But he was just incredible to meet the guy, and he just kept saying to me, so usually says people come up to me and say, "You Peter Cushing's dad." That's what he used to say, But he used to spend all his time in Whitstable. There was a little tea room. It's still there, called the Tudor Tea Rooms. And he used to sit up the corner in the tea rooms, right? And he was, I don't know if many people know, but the guy was an incredible artist. I mean, really incredible. And he used to sit there and he used to sketch all the customers, who came in the shop. And for years on end, right, the Tudor Tea Rooms used to sell the sketchbook with all his I don't know whether they still do, whatever, like, but he was just a real gentleman, really was, and he's just one of the highlights for me. That was, whatever, to meet him,
Oh, that's cool. Because they say, a fear meeting your I don't know, the stars and whatever, because they'll lay you down and stuff. But that's good.
Yeah. He certainly was just But I mean, you listen to everybody who kind of talk about him, and they all say how good he was. And I kind of really feel like privileged, to be honest, because since he's died, there's a whole generation of people now who he's like a cult, icon sort of thing. Who would never have got to meet him. Do you know what I mean? Because he didn't have any of that back then. Do you know what I mean? And whatever, like, so it really feels special that I kind of met him, really.
Yeah. It's
I've got a photo somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I don't. I look at him and whatever, like, and he always looks the same. He never, to me, he never changed. No, he's just Peter Cushing. He'd always got that sort of great look about him, hadn't
he? Yeah. Roy Davis is a bit like Annie.
He never changes. Yeah. Roy's great, man. Isn't he? I've got to catch up with him. To be honest, it's been ages since I've seen him. To be honest, every time I speak to him, once in a blue moon, and we go, "I've got to come. Next time I'm in Brum, I'll come and see you." But I never get a chance to get in to catch up with him. He's always riding around the country on his Harley or something, isn't he?
Yeah. In the Cotswolds or something.
That's it. He's always on the Cotswolds. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love him to bits, man. He's that family, like I say, Shy was a family. It really was, and it really was, and it was just so. It's criminal that was cut short, really.
Yeah.
But
well, listen, Lee, it's been absolutely class talking to you, brother.
Thank you, man. Likewise.
Let's get that poster back up. Looking at Sweet's tour. It's a big old tour. Get out and see him, because everyone that comes to see you, bud, they're saying such fucking good things about you live. So
great, thank you.
Planet Rockstock as well.
Yeah, of course, we got that one as well. Yeah, that's going to be good. Yeah, looking forward to that. It's going to be a
cracking night, that is, mate. You've got Billy Marsden and you guys.
He's doing all the white. He's doing all his White Snake stuff for the first time in years, I think, on that as well. So it's going to be a great night. That's it.
Amazing, bud. But like I said, brother, we'll come and see you definitely on the road.
Definitely, let me know. That'd be great. Yeah,
catch up and have a beer and stuff.
For sure.
But, thank you so much for joining us, bro. We're gonna play out now your new song, My New Addiction. Thank you so much for joining us, bud.
Thanks for having me on, guys. You take care. Lovely to speak to you.
You too, fella. Take care, Lee.
See you later, mate.
Together, a wrong door, a wrong blow, and everything changed. Stay on the sidewalk, just keep yourself alive. On track, baby, don't look, we're falling out of the dive. stone, all the rocks in the stone. Why somebody help me this time? Seems only bad things ever throw me alive. Destiny, fate, the right time. No one can help this great pretender. So show the way, try the thousand times. Nothing left but surrender. Changing back to fiction. 'Cause you're my new addiction. My new addiction. Yeah. Make me come alive. I'm back on the lonely road with the rest of the lonely hearts. Outcast up fast like a stone in the hole. Too many problems taking hold over me. I came to bring you spell and set my soul free. Changing back to fiction. Let the night begin. Let the cold wind howl. I'll be right by your side. Let the demons howl. You're my new addiction. You're my new addiction. You're my new addiction. Ah, yeah. Let the truth be told.
What's happening, boys?
Right.
Good tune, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just playing along on the guitar, just jamming along. Yeah, some good guitar in there.
Nah, fair play. Good chat, man. Lee's he's like he's just so well known within the industry. Do you know what I mean? He's always the guy like I know can sing vocals here or
Oh
play
yeah,
guitar here,
go-to
you know what I
guy.
mean? Like he's a go-to. Yeah, exactly.
Got a great
Dave.
voice as well, isn't he? So
Yeah, sweet.
really good voice.
How
So
are we,
fun.
boys?
All right, not bad, but thank you very much. Not bad at all.
Been up to much, bud?
Just pissing about, exercising. That's about it.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, what have you been doing?
Oh, had a little run around the dunes today. Took the dog, had a run around there. That's why I was trying to message you.
Ah, right. That's why you're out of breath, right?
Oh, when it was windy.
Yeah.
Ah, cool, man. How are you, Lloyd?
Yeah, good man. Really good. Had a good evening last night. Actually, I took a dog up a field by us, and he's I've never been one to leave him off a lead
All right.
because I get a bit wary about like other animals, kids traffic, but he's starting to really really learn his name, his recall name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which no, it's a pleasure now to take him up there because take his ball and he's really well behaved. So he's coming along good. So
How
feels
old
like
is
I'm
he?
doing something right.
Takes him a while.
Say that again,
Yeah.
Bill?
How old is he?
He'll be 3 in July. So yeah, he's just over like 2.5.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, but of course, because we've had him nearly a year. So he was like fully grown when we had him and stuff, but I never really knew his background or because we didn't have him from a pup.
Aye.
It's always a bit like, is he going to bolt and never come back or?
Yeah.
But no, he's doing really well. It's good fun.
He knows which side his bread's buttered on. That's what it is now. But
All right.
he
There
knows
we
where his
are.
meal's coming from. Yeah.
There we are. Like
Have you been walking the dog, Shane?
No, I haven't done that for a while, but to be honest. They can walk themselves.
Treadmill, is it?
Yeah, I walk myself, just I refuse to take the dogs.
Ah. I love going out with the dogs, I do. They make you walk quicker.
No,
Yeah.
they slow me down. That's the problem.
Ah, right. I know Indy's just like fucking, yeah.
You need a new dog, and mate.
Off they go in the bushes, sniff, sniff, sniff. 10 minutes later, 4 fags later, I'm still there going, what the fuck are these dogs going?
How old is your dog now, Beth?
Oh, so Jeremy's got to be 10.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
Jesse's 3, 4 maybe.
For people that don't know, Shine has got a beagle, and he's named it Jeremy. Jeremy Beagle. Isn't that just genius?
It's
incredible.
He's lovely. He's so chill because he's older. We always sleep in when I come over. Just sleep in, chilled.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll
Then
never
you have a mad
forget.
5 and I go, oh, there's a bin but there, there's empty.
I'll never forget when we used to go out. I'd come up and get you, and your parents would be gone out somewhere. So I'd go up to pick Shiner up, and he's had to pick the bins and put them on top of the worktop in the kitchen. It's like, why are you doing that? Oh, he'll eat everything in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Interesting.
there's been some fucking incidents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave, on the dog, you can have him.
Oh, send him over, man.
Yeah. I
Send
know,
him
I'll be
over.
done in the morning.
Old Dr. Doolittle have him.
Send him over, bud. I don't know if you get on with Indy though. Indy will probably be a bit too much for him.
Well, I'd bring him down there, let's find out. Once you've got him, he's yours, but
But more than welcome.
There's Andy Parish, but there, boy. I have a cocker spaniel called Shiner.
No way.
it's a matter with it. Not being him.
Does he
Brilliant.
go in the bush and then have 4 fags?
For about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know what I do. I'll change my name to Cocker Spaniel. I would even.
Yeah.
I like spaniel dogs. I got similar hair to a spaniel, and I'm a bit spaniel-y.
Yeah, you are. No, you're more like Charles. What are they called? Those
King
dogs?
Charles.
King
King
spaniel.
Charles. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they got those. They got the ears like this, haven't they?
Yeah. You'd make like a good
He's not as
King
skilled
Charles,
as one of them, or is he?
No.
Best name for a dog, Colin. I like human names, particularly more old-fashioned, sort of just generic names like Steve, Colin,
Yeah.
My
Harold.
brother's brother-in-law named his dog Alan.
Yeah, Alan. Yeah, things like that. I
Alan
love
the
that.
dog.
I love that.
He's a British bulldog. Alan the dog, and he's like,
Alan, like,
Alan.
all right now. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, nicely. I like a catastrophe.
I thought that was like a Greek god or something.
Yeah.
Aussie, good name, Alan.
Oh, shit, no. I got some names, but
Oh, news just in, everybody.
we lost, but we still through.
All right. Yeah, because we beat them 2-0 in the first.
What's that Champions League match? Is it?
Yeah,
Or
we lost 1-0.
Right. It don't matter.
Yeah, we threw it.
How did Man United get on the other day?
Birthdays and shout outs.
Smallest team in Manchester. Oof, eh?
Anyway, shifting through the gears, birthdays and shoutouts.
Okay, there's not many tonight, but happy birthday to Queen Bee, admin extraordinaire. It's her birthday on Thursday. Big love from Darren and the boys and all us crows. Happy birthday, Bee.
Birthday.
And yeah, I think Darren's been hit with the COVID, so I'm told. Hope you get well soon, Darren.
Yeah, get well, bro.
Yeah, man. Lee Scott, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday, Lee.
Happy
birthday.
Birthday, Lee.
Debbie Pickering, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday, Debbie.
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
Birthday.
And this is a bit of a long one. Jack Skinner got in touch. Hey, guys, I really hope this finds you all well. Just wanted to say a couple of things. Firstly, welcome back. We've missed you all so much. And the week hasn't been the same without... I think I read this last week, didn't I? Someone's just real. I think I've read this out. Have I read it out?
I was pissed last week, so
Read it again. There we are for
Yeah.
Dave. Read it again for Dave.
Again.
Okay. We missed you all so much. And the week hasn't been the same without our regular cast on a Tuesday night. Please know we appreciate so much the time and effort you guys put into the weekly event, useful fact and general shenanigans, and life truly is not the same without it. Also, could you please shout out Izzy, our gorgeous daughter, has only gone and got herself a place at university starting in September, doing what she loves the most, performing arts. She, along with the population of teenagers, have had a rough couple of years, and to now achieve this ultimate goal, I could not be more proud of her. Thankfully, she is staying in Sheffield for the start of her adventure, but she will soon be off onto a bigger stage of life, and I can't wait to see where she goes. Thank you, guys. We love you all loads. I cannot wait to see you on the stage soon, and of course, the new album. Sending loves and hugs, and many, many thanks, Jax. Thank you so much, Jax. Lovely message.
Thank you. Good luck.
And good luck, Lizzie.
Best of luck.
And good luck on the performing arts. Do you remember those days, boys?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And that's all the shout outs. This week, what's the next line? It's probably the easiest we've done in a long time. So get ready, buddy. Pick the fingers. We really want to see those fingers. Small old town. What's the next line? Go.
Shiny look pickled up there. Look straight at him, man.
Do you know what? I didn't even know that word was in that sentence.
Old. Yeah. I only knew it was Shane.
Yeah.
Shane
Hang
itself.
Hang on.
boys,
Someone's saying
hang
there's
on,
no
hang on.
sound.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no sound,
Oh,
is
you
there?
know. Well, the person that said there's no sound managed to answer. No. Whatever.
Right. Okay. I'll say it again. Apparently, you went. Sound
Okay,
wasn't
do
on.
it again. That's cool.
Very easy one. In a small old town. In a small old town.
Sounds
What's the
like
next
a beginning
line?
of like a sea shanty, doesn't it? Here in a small old town.
What's the matter with you, man?
Oh my god.
Goodbye, Dave. Let's go over to Dave, actually. See what's on this week's playlist.
The best music all day long. Crow Radio. Available now via Those Damn Crows Spotify page. Don't forget to click the green heart.
Give us our little preamble then, Ronnie, and I'll get it up on the screen then.
Okie
Here we are.
dokie. There you go.
Today's International Women's Day, so we're celebrating women because they deserve to be celebrated. And
Yes, they
I
do.
got on that. They bloody deserve it, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I live with one and she's great, so here we go. So we've chosen artists, well, female artists basically, female artist, whether it's a singer, a guitarist, whatever. It's a female. So the first song is Cherry Bomb by Joan Jett and the
2.
Blackhearts. Then we have Confide in Me by the late, I was going to say late great Kylie Minogue.
What?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. She's a good friend of the
I
show.
know she's a very good
She
friend.
haven't
Yeah.
fucking woke up yet down here.
I tell you what,
friend.
boys, when's the last time you listened to that song? What a song that is. Kylie Minogue,
Banger.
Confide in Me. Oh,
Banger.
sorry, carry on.
That's right. Call Me by Blondie.
Good friend.
Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine.
Absolute banger.
Yeah. And In My Pocket, Alanis Morissette. I absolutely love that song.
Tune.
Piece of My Heart by Janis Joplin. Smells.
Smells, yeah.
She smells old Spike, innit?
Age of 17, Stevie Nicks. Age of 17, Stevie Nicks.
Age
as
of
some people
17.
call it. Nightbush City Limits, Ike and Tina Turner, but pretend Ike's not on there.
He's not on there.
No. Still of the Night, Hailstorm. She's in Love with You, Susie Quattro. So What, Pink. Lisa will be happy with that. She loves Pink. Shine by good friends, Ruse.
Yes.
Like a Prayer, Madonna. Bring Me to Life, Evanescence. Linger, which is an absolute classic by the Cranberries.
Banger.
I'll Stand By You, The Pretenders. Only Happy When It Rains, Garbage. Where are we now? Make Me Want to Die, Pretty Reckless. Fire, Flyleaf. Take Me Away, Avril Lavigne. That was my choice, so I'd stick that in there. Our Truth, Luna Coil. That was mine as well. And Handshake with Hell, Arch Enemy. No, one more. Just a Girl, no doubt.
Yeah, which is a cracking album, that is. Tragic
Lovely.
Kingdom.
I made work of that, didn't I? Christ.
That is literally, that's a great album, that is. That's
Yeah.
a good suggestion. I will Shine a Boy.
Yeah. So yeah, Greenheart, Downwards Facing Arrow, and Share with Your Mates.
Yeah.
Celebrating
boy.
women on International Women's Day. God bless you.
Fabulous. Have we got a winner?
Yes, we have. Lots of people had this right, and because it's a very easy one. So we've just picked one at random. And the answer is in a small old town where everyone knows. Evelyn Barr, congratulations, Evelyn. You have won anything you want, really, on the merch stall. Hope you got your size, because we're up to small on a few items. And I'm assuming Evelyn will want a small. But head on over to the web store and have a look, lovely, and let us know what you want. Well done, everybody.
Good.
Here we are. It's a boring one this week. Like, there's no dancing fucking polar bears or singing giraffes. Unfortunately,
It's an animal
there
feed,
is-
yeah.
in America, there's a 50-mile square bit of land where there's no law. You could murder someone, you can do what you want, and you cannot get prosecuted for it. The
Zone of death.
Yeah, Yellowstone
Yellowstone
National Park. And the reason for it is something to do with the fact where the states join up or wherever it is like that. So it's only covered by the federal something or other. It's quite complicated, but there's a loophole in the law where technically, if you were to commit a heinous crime there, you couldn't get tried for it. So they call it that. And I think there was, maybe there was a movie based on it. I can't remember the name of the movie was.
Yeah, because when I was looking at this earlier and Dave sent it over, I was like, fucking hell, he's got to be winding me up. But no, it is genuinely true.
Loophole in the way the states, the different states operate and the FBI and all that stuff. I think if you did try it, I don't know if you'd actually get away with it.
I love that comment from Shannon Crow. Because she lives
I
in
don't need
America.
to know where that is.
But yeah, no.
Let me know when you find out.
Well, we just
Yeah, no,
showed
it's
you on the map.
Yellowstone National
should
Park.
do.
It's in
It's on the map.
California
Yeah, it's a
somewhere, isn't
fucking big place, so boys, Yellowstone. It's not like Bringarrow Park, like.
it?
Or
Yeah,
Newbridge
is
Fields.
it
Fuck me.
California or Utah or Arizona?
It's bloody huge.
It's the southwest, isn't it, of America? I know that.
Yeah, it
That
is
looks
on.
like a
Yeah.
that looks like a big old area too. How big is that?
50, yes, 50 miles. 50 miles. So it's
Easy.
fairly big. You know, it'd be stretching from Swansea to
Fields,
Cardiff.
Wow.
So yeah,
Well, if you can't find me, you know where I am.
yep.
Over there.
Steve Davis, just like Aberdeen, just a little bit bigger.
Have a way.
Aberdeen.
Brilliant.
Nice one, Steve. Wow,
Yeah, if
good
there's anyone who
track,
don't
eh?
like, take them on holiday to Yellowstone Park and jobs are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a cracking fact. Yeah.
That's a good one, that is.
Yeah,
Obviously, you can
interesting.
find out more. if you
I've had that
Google
one on
it.
the back burner for ages, but because it's a bit grim,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, a happy-go-lucky chap, you know.
It's not as bad as that one you said before, but the coordinates. Fucking hell.
Hey, I just pick him up off Google, you know. You shoot the messenger.
Yeah, the coordinates was the darkest one so far.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I haven't actually looked at that. I'm gonna have a look at that.
Over lake as well, isn't it?
That's it's fabulous. For anybody watching tonight, if you want to head over, like Shane just said, the winner just won something from our merch store. So sorry. So you can head over to www.thosedamncrows.com. You'll find everything in one place. Latest news, tour news as well, because there's new dates being released constantly at the moment, which is great. You can also click on the Crow Fitness page, which Annie Joyce and everybody is kind of doing a banging job over there, keeping everybody motivated. And of course, visit our web store where you can buy t-shirts, beer, hot sauce, calendars, everything, absolutely everything that keeps the machine on the road. Also, as well, if you enjoyed tonight's show as well, you can check out Crowcast podcast, where Lee, especially now, a lot of people I notice are checking off to go to work early in the morning. I've seen some people going to work at 5, or they got to get up at 4 or 5 in the morning. Good God. So yes, it is available in an audio version, which is available on Acast, Apple, Spotify, and many other good providers as well.
Class.
Ladies and gentlemen, one-liner, shiner.
I got a good one this week, boys. Money saving tips this week.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, honest, it's fucking genius, boys. Right.
All right.
So we got 168, right, for a litre of diesel. Right, on average, 85 quid to fill the tank, right? So fill your tank up, drive off, right, without paying. 50 quid court fine. Save yourself 35 quid a week.
Job done.
I love that. That's amazing.
Mic drop. Brilliant.
But don't you have to pay for the fuel on top of the court costs?
Yeah, there's nothing like that in my notes, Dave. So I'm gonna say that.
But mate, that is genius. I love that.
And find a new petrol station to fill your car up in next time.
Yeah, each time, yeah.
That's brilliant. That's a good one, Harry Shine. Well done, son.
Money saving tips.
I'm gonna have to get him a new graphic.
Yeah.
We're on about new segments for the Crowcast. Money saving tips. There you go.
China's
China
dodgy,
on
man.
the stock exchange, like.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Crow family, this has been Crowcast episode 89 with special guest Lee Small. Thank you so much, as always, for the love and constant support. Have a great week, Crow family, and we shall see you same time, same place next Tuesday, live at 9 on Crowcast episode 90. Stay safe, Crow family. Look after each other. No star.
Who said